Warning.
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 Warning. You are entering into the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. Too late. Personal Development Unplugged.
Hey my friends, we're back. Well, back for a newsletter. That's all we're here for. Trying to get to the centre of this camera. I'm not good at cameras. I do my best. But anyway, this is the end of July newsletter, and I thought I wanted to share with you something that I found really helpful, and it's helpful in a way that helps me to remember things easily, because it's simple. You're going to think it's too simple, as usual, because in simplicity there is genius. And with that, it's also done in what we call those bite sizes, those little bite sizes, little baby steps of learning. Because when we read or listen to something, sometimes we make a load of notes and then we either forget them, or when we go to look at them again, we go, whoa, what a lot. But this guy I saw on YouTube, his name is, I'm going to have to look down, Charles Abrams. That's Abrams. So if you want to Google it on YouTube. If you search for him on YouTube, you'll see one of his videos is called, and I've looked down again to make sure I get the word, it's called the Sirianni Method. Sirianni Method. Sirianni. Sirianni Method. And it's all about capturing things on this type of stuff. A little card. And I'm going to take my elastic bands off so I can show you the ones I'm doing. And I'm using it not just for capturing the things that I hear or read, but I'm using it to capture things that I want to remember, just whether it's something I've written into my journal, and in the whole page of that journal there's that little bit that I go, oh, that's important. Or if it's something that happened to me in the day and I'm thinking, that's again, there's something I've just learned by doing something, and it's just different. One of my, I think it was a 5-minute quickie. I think it's to come, but it's all about something that happened and how I reacted. Well, that was so important to me, I wrote it on one of these cards. And here's what you do. It's so simple. These are, I don't know, I think they're 4x2, 100mm by 50mm, or a little bit bigger than that, 5x2 little cards. I didn't even see that there. And as you can see, just quickly, it has a title across the top, and then it's divided roughly in the middle, maybe just a little bit from further over to the right than the left. So, and what you do is you write your title of what you want to learn, what's important, and you do it in a title in a way that you will remember. So when you look at it, I mean, I've got one here, controlling and using frustration. Yeah, you can see that. And what happens is, you do your title, and then on the left-hand side, you do the facts. This is what happened. This is what I want to remember. This is what I learned. So if it was a book you're reading, this is one thing I learned. Not loads of things, but this is one thing that's important. And you give a little data or whatever, maybe a reference. So they're the things that when you read it, you're going to go, this is the specific thing I learned. And then you'll notice, see that? You've got a line down the middle. Got to get it right in the camera. And there's a box, but below that box is what you write the emotional side, what it meant to you. Why is it important? I'm going to explain why I think this really works. And then above that, you saw that little square. And as you look at that, you can see there's a little drawing. And it's got me there with eyesight, with an eye. And now that's my visual metaphor, as it were. It's symbolic. And it's just a very quick sketch that represents that one thing. And what you do is every day something happens, generally every day. It does. Something memorable that you want to learn, especially now you're in this personal development, of making yourself a better you. There's always something we can learn, something we need to remember. Maybe it's that journal. No, anything. So every time you do one of these cards, as you put it back into your pack, you very quickly, I'll just show you a few. I got loads. One, see them? Those are little pictures. See them? Look at that one. That's a brilliant one. It's all about a thing I learned about a special Buddhist meditation. And because they're so small, you can quickly read them again. So every time you do a new one, you put it in the pack, you quickly flick through those others. And after a while, the title and the picture tells you everything you need to know. And you start to remember it. So first of all, you may be reading the facts, reading that emotional tie, and then the picture. And you go, that makes sense. I remember it now. And the more you do that by repetition, it's like a visual anchor. That picture becomes a visual anchor, I believe. That's my thoughts anyway. And you can feel the feelings again. And I think that's the thing that really triggers that memory. Obviously, repetition keeps it from the short-term memory into the long-term memory. And then because they're bite-sized, you can then start to think about things. And you can remember things after a while just like that. You don't need to look at them anymore. But as you do, it takes 2 seconds. Oh, yeah, I remember that one. Oh, yeah, I remember that. But it's that emotional tie and that visual representation, I think, brings all the modalities. So it's not just writing. It's thinking about what it means to you. Why is this important? Writing that down. Because if something is important and it's emotionally, and it'd be positively charged, won't it? It's going to go inside a lot easier, especially with that little picture, that visual representation. This is like a symbol, isn't it? And symbols is what your unconscious mind really works with best. So symbols and feelings. So I just wanted to pass it on with you, onto you. Something I'm doing now, and didn't know it was going to work, but it really does. Now, Charles Abrams, if you search for him on YouTube and you see this one, the Sirianni method, he explains it so much better than I do because he goes right through it and shows how he's done it. But it works. It just works. So if that's of interest to you, I'd like to share the type of things that I'm learning and things that maybe I can't. It's very difficult to describe that. I might try it one day, but to try to get that just into words, it's maybe a bit difficult, but that's the first time. But I just want you to give you that little thing to go, oh. And if there is things that you want to learn, and I know there is, because when you're in this little world of self-development, self-improvement, trying to be the best version of you, trying to get that 1% more, we read a lot. We listen a lot. And if you put something then, I use Evernote and I take a note, but that's only written, isn't it? So if I can transfer that to a card and then say, why was that important? What's it going to allow me to do? Those type of things. So you get that feeling, that emotion, and then draw that little symbolic picture. And it can be so simple. You saw that stick figure and an eye. And that was enough for me. There's another one where I'm like planting a tree because I'd forgotten something and now's the time to learn. Little things like that. And that will mean nothing to anybody. But as soon as I see that picture, I go, oh yeah, that reminds me. I've got to do the things I already know, which I sometimes forget to do. Now, I hope that helps. And I hope you like the newsletter. I know it's only once a month and it's a reminder of things, but that's all it is. I don't want to pester you. Do have a look at Paul Clough Online if you would. paulcloughonline.com, that is. There's a few things there. Still got massive discounts if you got this newsletter, so you've got the code to use that. And anything else. But please, if there's anything you need, anything you want help with, that I can do a process, make one up, do a talk about, do let me know. Just send me a reply to the email that you got that had the link on this. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. The Sirianni method, explained by Charles Abrams, Abrams, and disastrously shared to you. Okay. Have fun with your little cards. Bye-bye now. And listen, don't forget to share those episodes. Bye-bye now. See you, mate Cluffy. Bye-bye.
Warning, you are now leaving the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. It's time to fly on your own. Be brave, my friend.
Personal Development Unplugged.